You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to the west, going up and down, cause baby, you know best. All day, all night, running around, I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down. You got me shooting into space, flying at the sun. I'm never coming back cause baby you're the one. You got me dizzy, 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 dizzy on my feet. Can't eat, can't sleep every day of the week. All day, all night, running around. I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down. Heads up, heart attack, listen to me. You're driving me wild, got me down on my knees. All day, all night, running around. I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down.
Well, dang it. We had a surprise for you all. We were going early because Glenn Serio is dangerously driving and live streaming. And you have to watch Glenn Serio because he always deletes the stream immediately afterwards. So, of course, Glenn just deleted the stream while we were in mid-music. So, good morning, everybody. How is everybody?
Oh, great. How are you doing?
I'm good, but how about Hank and Pants first?
I have no
Well,
pants.
one of us is the pants in this relationship, and I'm not sure who.
Aye,
And
aye, aye.
I like your pants, but I'm not going to wear you.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I'm doing shorts today.
Yeah, I am also in shorts. Virgo, yeah, Pants, where was Glenn heading? Where did we observe him?
Oh, he was headed to Tacoma, just north of Tacoma, but he got off the freeway in some small town and looked like he was driving around the parking lot of a hotel, maybe. Either that or
I
an elementary
Where
school. I
he's
couldn't tell.
living?
It looked too nice of a hotel for something he could afford.
Maybe he's just turning around then.
Well, in the parking lot was completely empty, so he was driving on this massive empty parking lot, like he was casing
Yeah.
the joint.
Let's see. Yeah, the only lives left on his stream are 3 months ago. So, oh well. I'm sure he'll go live again after he does whatever drug deal. I mean, whatever visit whatever visit he happens to be having right now. So, how the hell are you folks? I had a morning. It was 3 a.m. I sat down and I saw yet another goose egg for the damn GoFundMe tracking. Started writing, and I couldn't do it. I was just too damn tired. So I farted around for an hour, then put up my message of no paper this morning, and I went back to sleep from like 4 something a.m., whenever that was posted, until a little after 9 a.m. and it was
wow.
good.
We're proud of
It
you,
was
Jim.
good. It
Hey,
was
Jim.
good. Yes.
We got our Facebook like from Karen again.
Yay! Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen, for our only Facebook like. Well,
Wonder how many
sometimes we get a
Karens we'll
couple
get.
of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
they come in
sometimes
multiple.
there are two Karens. There's another Karen. There's Karen G, and then there's another Karen who always gives us or will give us a thumbs up. But folks, it's not a big stream tonight. We're just shooting the breeze for about an hour because we have a decided lack of content for the next week because Karen Reed's only going to be in session for one day.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
So is there no court on Monday?
No court on Monday, but Tuesday is now a full day. And then there's apparently
Okay.
no court Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Correct.
And this is just as we are sitting at least the old metrics, because the new metrics have us over this mark, but we were sitting at 2,980 watch hours. And
Oh,
we need 3,000 to hit the metrics, which we'll hit. You know, I know what the current metrics are, but the metric, their stats for monetization are 5 days behind. So I'm just sitting here. If I didn't know where to look, I would have been on pins and needles waiting for us to cross that 3,000 mark for first level of monetization. We still need 195 more viewers, which I'll try to address by getting some shorts out this week and see if that'll do. You know, even if they're shorts viewers, they're viewers, they get us past that threshold.
So remember,
well,
boys and girls, please share this stream and don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe for real, folks.
And thanks, Karen. You rock too.
Right. Morning, Becca.
Hey, Becca.
I'm behind
Hello.
inside chat.
I think I saw
Oh.
Becca say she's wearing pants, which is a little disturbing.
Hello, Rose. How are you?
Are you one size fits all?
I would hope so. But bump. Pants just got dirty. I'm telling.
Oh, and I have to go to the laundry again. Ooh, but that lets me use more fabric softener. Fabric
No more
softener.
fabric softener. Stop
In fact,
drinking it right out of the bottle.
I have a little mini bottle fabric softener here somewhere.
Do you
Yes.
sniff it?
Is
At
it
least you
Snuggles?
wash more frequently than Glen Stereo. That's an achievement.
Yeah.
Within this decade is more than Glen Stereo, I believe. Or they might have forced him into a shower during his 5-day incarceration.
True, but I bet his pants stand up on their own.
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
Poor Pants' cousin.
Well, when he took
Yep.
off those magic spandex that he had on, they probably shot like a rubber band into the atmosphere.
I thought those were yoga pants. For a while, he was wearing something like yoga pants.
Well, he's not shaped. You don't
Whatever
get
they
clothes
were
in it.
magic fabric to hold all that in without bursting at the seam.
Spandex jorts.
Spandex jorts.
Oh.
Oh, Lord. Now you're putting images in our minds that shouldn't be there.
That you cannot unsee.
Jim,
Yeah,
for your next
especially
3D render, I think some spandex jorts need to be included in there.
spandex jorts on the Glen Stereo model, which I already have half naked.
Mm-hmm.
Can you add more
Yeah.
folds to keep up?
I could probably make him a lot fatter than he is, but I didn't. He looks almost near identical right now. So I just
Yeah,
can't get the lines in.
he's kind of more of a bulge guy, not a fold guy. You know, he's has surface tension. You know.
Oh, the folds are there.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yes,
is
they
where
are.
one of you picks a new topic so that we can.
So Glenn Serio is driving around, and we haven't heard from. Well, okay, our Seattle area folks. I think Virgo is okay, but Touche I haven't heard from, and Telecline we haven't heard from. So are they out there somewhere in? Are they out there chasing Glenn right now? And maybe that's why Glenn ended the stream, was that he's being chased. And we now have 3 likes on Facebook. We have 3.
Woohoo!
Ooh, Leslie, Lisa, and Karen, thank you so much for your likes on Facebook.
Virgo says, "Aw, that's lame."
Leggings deserve pockets. Well, I don't disagree.
They often do have pockets.
We do have a reminder that Memorial Day, which is this Monday, is not a happy holiday. That's Veterans Day. So instead of saying Happy Memorial Day to a veteran, try a hug and or a pat on the back, as Memorial Day is a somber day.
And please avoid trying to thank veterans for their service on Memorial Day. Memorial Day is for those who have fallen, not those who survived.
Yeah.
If you live near a national cemetery, oftentimes they put a tiny flag on each one of the graves. So if you have time, and that's something that would, that kind of jives with your sense of community and whatnot, you can always volunteer at your local national cemetery to honor each one of those veterans with a little tiny flag.
Yep. And it's a little bit late for this year because they do that. They usually start that in most of the cemeteries the week prior.
That's true, but you can always factor that into your schedule next year.
Weirdly, when I lived in Franklintown, Pennsylvania, named after Ben Franklin because he apparently owned a barn somewhere in the town. So they named the town after him. He never visited. There was a little cemetery right off of the street that we lived on. And for Memorial Day, I guess one of the people, and this was a cemetery dating the 1800s, with like 5 or 6 graves left exposed. One of those was a vet because they would put a flag on his grave every Memorial Day.
Yeah, there's like volunteer societies of people that go through and clean up old cemeteries that have gone to like parks and recs because they're no longer active cemeteries. And the endowment fund, which is a fee that you pay when you buy the property, and that's for the perpetual care of the property itself, will extinguish at some point. And when it does, it goes over into the care of like the city or the county, and it becomes like a park kind of thing. And so it was probably one of those volunteers that keeps tabs on who's where and probably goes and cleans it and does all the appropriate stuff for them.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that they're taking care of, especially someone that far back, you
Yeah.
know, because that's a little blink and you forget it cemetery on a corner of a busy road. If you're not looking, you don't know it's there. Of course, that was on the same road where the cow would get out every now and then, so you would have to drive slowly through there during the fog because one area was the cow and the other area was the ducks that would go across the road. So you could dodge one and run straight in the other in the Pennsylvania fog.
There's a beef and chicken combination joke here somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, Hank. Beef with duck? Is there anything you can make with that?
I'm sure I could, but
Some sort of
the few
turducken
times
situation.
Throw it in the smoker and it'll all be good.
Yeah, I could do a brisket and a smoked duck.
There you go.
Got plenty of room to do both.
with Phil not here to torment us with brisket, because Phil is out. His daughter's in town tonight, so Phil is having fun with the family tonight. And we don't really have a topic for tonight. I just haven't talked to anybody in a couple of days, so it's nice to sit back and relax and bring up the drama going on other places. Ooh, we're up to speaking of drama, we're up to 6 likes over on Facebook. So thank you, Lance, David, Rose, Leslie, Lisa, and Karen.
Hello, Tina.
Hey, Tina. Good morning.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do carne asada tacos for Memorial Day. We don't go to the National Cemetery. There's just too many people. It's a very large National Cemetery where my dad's at, but I split his cremated remains up between myself, my mother, and the National Cemetery, so we can just do something with him here. He did die 100% service connected, but not, that doesn't mean in combat or anything like that. It was very much after the fact.
Oh, anyone else have any plans for Memorial Day?
Well, none I want to speak of on air.
Okay.
Fair.
And Pants, of course, I'm assuming has his wine bottle and Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, yes. Oh, definitely. As the world turns.
Is that still on the air? I know Guiding Light was taken off a couple decades ago now.
I have absolutely no idea.
Don't know.
There are shows I'm familiar with the name, but couldn't tell you crap about them.
Yeah,
All I know is some of my favorite actors cut their teeth on those shows. John Delancey and Nathan Fillion.
Well, Kevin Bacon was on Guiding Light for a whole year.
Was he really?
Back in the day.
Mm.
And the B-52s made an appearance.
Hmm.
Do you guys want to play 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Sure. Though I'm going blank at the moment.
So Kevin Bacon had a karate instructor who was also my classics professor's karate instructor. He did Latin and Greek. So we have Kevin Bacon, karate instructor, my classics professor, me, and then you guys. You guys are 5th degree.
Oh, so we actually have a 5th degree of Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then now we don't have to play the game. Unless Pants knows something.
I'm just hungry for blue bacon now.
Oh, God.
That's all I can.
Well, blue bacon did make the news yesterday, and that's something to segue into. There was a surprise hearing in the blue bacon case yesterday. Chili did not appear. Basically,
imagine that.
Last week, when the judge issued his order turning the temporary order into a real order, he left out a couple of paragraphs explaining why they got the sanctions. It literally just goes into sanctions awarded for, and I believe I think it was the $4,000 or the $10,000 one. I don't quote me right now. I didn't look, but the whole hearing was about getting those paragraphs restored so they know why the hell they got the sanctions. Because it's nice to get the sanctions, but it's nice also to know why you were awarded those sanctions.
That judge's docket is insane.
Yes, it is. I would not want to work at that court or be the clerk. So ultimately, the clerk is going to change the minutes to reflect the proper order from the judge. And then the judge will order or issue a new version of that document. So
Are we taking any bets on whether Chili will just cut a check right away?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. How much was it? Let me double check that. How much? He already owed, what was it, $6,000 from the previous sanctions? Don't all speak at once. Yes, it was $6,000 from the previous sanctions. And then the new ones were, I think, another 10.
I think there's a better chance Chili will tell the truth before he pays out any money.
You think?
Well, seeing that his GoFundMes aren't going anywhere again, he's made $400 on them almost for the week. So let's see. No, the new sanctions are for $4,500 by July 15th, added to the $1,600 he already owes Blue Bacon. And all the money is going to pay Blue Bacon's lawyer for unnecessarily having to do paperwork because of DeCastro stalling, playing games and doing all his chilly stuff, which he thinks he can get away with. And this is the California Superior Court lawsuit, which also has Team Skeptic, Daniel Clement, and Kate Peter. Of course, Kate Peter was found in default by the clerk, but not the default judgment was not issued. So she's in
still never
default
been
there.
served, has she?
No, she was served and didn't respond in time, apparently.
Huh.
But Team Skeptic's never been served. And Daniel Clement, the guy who was in the Going Dark video, where Chili had to go dark because the gangster. Yeah, he
Right.
got served the first time, but then Chili amended the complaint and never bothered to serve him with the amended complaint.
Because
So-
he's a scholar and good at lawsuits, and
Yes.
They're so
The only-
convoluted. It's hard to keep track.
The only one who's actually in the lawsuit technically is Blue Bacon because he was curious. Because he was never properly served either. But to see what the charges and all that were going to be, he had to accept it, or to respond to the charges, that is, he had to accept service. So
of all the
it's
things
just-
for him to be curious about, he had to pick a lawsuit. I'm so
Yeah.
disappointed.
basically.
Yeah, he challenged
So-
him for quite a
He's
long
taken
time.
one for the team, though. I think by being the lightning rod, he's going to, and having a lawyer, he's going to get Chili his proper comeuppance with sanctions.
He did at the beginning start off without a lawyer, just to see how well he could do with the full expectation of hiring a lawyer.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he
And
didn't
he-
do well.
Chili-
Yeah,
No, he still did better than Chili, though,
right. Yeah,
which
Well,
is
and
not
if he and
not
his
a
lawyer
not
are
a very
careful,
high bar.
all the lawyer's fees will wind up being paid for, but assessed to Chili. Whether Chili will ever pay is another issue. But
Well,
at the
hello,
very
Your
least,
Holiness.
it could wind up making Chili unable to file any more lawsuits in California.
Oh, I would like that. We have great
Oh,
anti-slap laws.
sweet.
Folks, we have an unexpected guest. His Holiness is here.
I hear you were dying, Jim. I came to save you.
Oh, well, we weren't dying, but did you bring the brisket anyway?
If you could sprinkle some water on Jim and do the incense thingy,
Yeah, I can do that. I can do
Let
that.
us
Oh, I have
pray.
some of that incense. And we have Shuggy in the chat.
Hello, Shuggy. How are you?
Shuggy!
Is Shuggy alive?
Well, he must be. He's in the chat.
Well, he could be
That's
or
not
is that just what
guaranteed.
he wants us to think?
He could be cloned. So to bring you
Somebody-
up to speed,
some-
Pope. Go ahead,
Somebody
Hank.
could have set their phone down on a Ouija board.
Again.
Okay.
Or on a train. You know, it's been known to happen with
Or a
Shuggy.
bus.
It's been known to happen
Yes.
with Shuggy.
So to bring you up to speed, Glenn Serio had been live, so we went live early, and then he stopped his feed exactly the moment we went live. And he had 9 viewers, which included me and Pants. So with the 40 people in here to start the stream, he would have had 4 times his
Oh,
viewership.
wow.
He would have been exposed to 4 times his viewership. So
It's
I mean, our numbers aren't not great numbers, but we're better than Glenn Serio.
who is a god, after all. Remember that.
Yes.
But then again, we would all be liable for exposing him to our audience.
Well, we
That's-
saw him pull an illegal U-turn, and his car stalled at a McDonald's, and it literally took like a minute for it to get started again. And then he pulled over into a skeevy parking lot, and then the video ended. So he's either out getting hookers or it was a drug deal, allegedly. One of the two.
Well, it could be both.
Well, he's in the Pacific Northwest, where from Seattle to all the way up to the end of Alaska are like the serial killer headquarters
Yes.
in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, there are more active serial killers in that stretch from Seattle to the northern tip of Alaska than anywhere else in the world. People
That's
just
something in the
disappear.
water up there, or
It's so remote.
And the highest number of victims for serial killers is
Oh, yes.
up in that area. Like the Green River killer, I think, is
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right up
didn't we
there.
just learn that Jim was originally from that area?
Yes, and I thought a family member was a Green River killer for many
This
years.
explains so many things.
I had a suspect in mind, yes.
Hmm. Interesting.
And frankly, yeah. Didn't turn out to be so, but there was enough evidence to think something was going on there. And thank you, Michael Collins, for the contributions.
How do we know it isn't maybe not the Green River, but some other river killer?
I don't know for a fact, but that's something.
On the table.
But we did have to drive by the Green River itself on the way to the mall, and one of the dumping grounds was right there on the way to the mall. So you're always driving by, looking down in the river, and these are not like in Pennsylvania. We have these huge, broad rivers.
Right.
Like the Susquehanna down in Harrisburg is like half a mile across, but they're
Right.
like a foot deep, if anything. In Seattle, the Seattle area, they're more focused and concentrated. They may be 23 or 20 or 30 feet across, but they're kind of deep. And you're still looking down to see if there's bodies on the way to the mall. So,
Oh.
and just to make things weirder, I used to take the park and ride from Seattle or from Kent actually to downtown Seattle Pike Place Market like once a month on my own to go get comic books starting when I was 12 years old. So different times in Serial Killer Central. That's it.
Do you remember what the bus fare for that was at the time?
I do not. I do
$2.50.
not. Less than that, because it was we always had to keep change in our pockets after going to the big Burger King in downtown Seattle, because that had just come in.
2
Yeah.
bits.
Because I remember my last year in Seattle, Crisis on Infinite Earths and Secret Wars were both going on at the same time. And one of the best memories was me and I had convinced a bunch of my friends to go on the trip. And we basically sat in the Burger King reading comics for half the afternoon, scrounging up money between like the five of us to keep, so we wouldn't get kicked out. We'd just be eating cheeseburgers, and that would get us another half an hour or so to hang out. So we were in the upstairs of that Burger King. It was pretty fun. It was a fun little memory. As
Well, you could have
Rose
just
goes,
bought a couple.
go ahead.
Could have just gotten a soft drink with free refills as long as you're drinking on it.
I don't think they had free refills back then. Then again, I don't remember having soft drinks either. We were just eating cheeseburgers. But we were a bunch of 15-year-olds. We didn't know any better.
There's one of the McDonald's near me. We go in there every morning. There's a big group of seniors in there that get their cup of coffee and sit there and just talk amongst themselves for hours on end.
Rose, it's not the physical age that matters. And that's all I'll say.
Oh.
She's saying that she thinks I'm older than she is. I'm not older than anyone. It's the mental age that matters. And we're not going
Uh,
there. So, anyway,
so you're saying you're a fetus?
I'm a
Oh
2-year-old.
God,
I found out
No,
that
that's where
horrible.
17 comes from. Jim's mental age kind of stopped at 17.
I found out that cats have the equivalent mentality or brain development as a 2-year-old human. So
Hmm.
that explains so much when the pack is running around here. So
Talk
just
about
think,
terrible twos.
yes, I've got a pack of 2-year-olds running around at 4 a.m. every night. That's why I'm up at 3 to get in front to stop them from the rampage.
Crepuscular.
So,
Yes.
Jim, do you identify as a crazy cat lady, or
No, I'm not crazy, and I'm not a lady.
How
The
many
eccentric cat
crazy
man.
felines
person
live
would
in your
say?
house?
We've got 13 right now, and another about 10 that are living on the property.
Yeah, eccentric cat.
In the morning, I'll have 2 on the back porch at least. Then there's a group of about 5 right now, including the one named after Gia. Who come because there was one that I couldn't remember the name of it or whatever I had called it. It went through like 10 names before I just started calling it Gia. And Gia stuck. So that cat is named Gia. But yeah, there's a bunch out there. Thankfully, I haven't seen kittens yet. And I probably just cursed myself by saying that out loud.
Do you make
It
an
is that
attempt
time
to
of the year.
trap and spay?
What
Do you
was
guys
that,
have a
Pants?
Do you make an attempt to trap and neuter them?
We had been, but right now finances are not that great. So with that many, even with the discount, it's still going to be $120 a cat.
Oof.
ooh?
Yeah, I do have a trap if I need to use it, but like Junior who lives on the front porch, he's been neutered, and the others don't seem to be interested in anything right now. Knock on wood. And yes, Gia, you rock. So little Gia gets her. Oh, little Gia. As soon as I started calling her Gia, little Gia starts licking the plates I put out there once everybody's finished, just to get that last little dose. Make sure it's clean. So she's part of the clean plate club out there.
Yeah, same here, Rose. Through the animal shelter, it's like $45 or something for basic spay and neuter services.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
got a. Go ahead.
the counties around here, they do it on their dime just to keep the feral cat population down.
Yeah, up here there is a feral cat place, but it's still $100. Sometimes they'll give you a deal where they'll spin a wheel and you get whatever it lands on, but
That's
with
fun.
that many cats out there trapping is going to be a while. But let's segue. Let's see. We did Glenn. We talked about Glenn,
Mhm.
and do we want to talk about the stuff going on in the Karen Reed murder trial? We left at a cliffhanger yesterday as Brian Higgins was being accused of felonies by the defense
Oh,
right at the end
geez.
there. Yeah, what a cliffhanger to end on. Basically, he had gone into the public area of an FBI building, which was set up for this stuff, and pulled data from his phone to give to the police. And the defense is accusing him of that was a felony because he used FBI equipment for his own gain. And that's where we left off yesterday. They were in the middle of the cross examination on that. What do you think, Hank?
I think they're grasping at straws.
Well, the judge didn't seem to be too convinced.
It sounds
The
like he
judge,
was doing his freaking job.
Well, it sounded like to me that that kiosk is specifically open for local law enforcement to walk in and use it and leave their techs alone. Just quit
yeah,
bothering with the extraction requests. Here's a kiosk to celebrate, do it yourself, and get the hell out of here.
yeah,
So he's a law enforcement agent of some sort. He's ATF, but that's still law enforcement. It was for a case for local law enforcement. It seems to me like it was an appropriate use of resources. I mean, you can argue the rest of what he did with his phone and destroying it and all that kind of stuff. Like that's a separate subject, but it seemed like a appropriate use of resources to me anyway.
right. And the gain they said he was getting out of it was so they're accusing him of the murder. They're basically had said for the past year that it was Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert who committed the murder. That they had
Mhm.
taken John O'Keefe downstairs to the basement, murdered him there, and then thrown him on the front lawn. So the gain is covering up the murder, apparently.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they were
And they were
trying to
able to do
make
that
it.
without any tracks in the snow going from the back of the house out to where they dumped the body. They're,
Yes,
they're
I
good
mean,
like
I
that.
I agree with the defense point of he went and did that so he could control his narrative. He can control what's released. Not all of his private information is just part and parcel extracted from his phone. Like I actually agree with him there. Because I think that's correct. I think it's a little suspect that everybody keeps getting rid of their phones. Um,
right,
but the defense keeps failing to bring up the fact that the requests for the extractions that they keep bringing up was denied as well.
right.
So some of the
So he
destruction happened after that denial.
right, but they're making it sound like he illegally pulled the information off and then he destroyed his phone, which he did. He did then destroy the phone and the SIM card. But it was after he was told he could. But they're making
Right.
it look like this is some sort of conspiracy to frame Karen Reed. But
Mhm.
otherwise, he did pretty good on showing that Karen Reed was after his body for a while there. She was flirting with him. In fact, even Turtle Boy was commenting that he was like, "Don't expect Karen Reed to be a paragon of virtue. She's human like anybody else."
Right.
Because those text messages where she was literally trying to flirt with him while still with John, and it was remember it started days after the incident in where was it?
Ruba.
Aruba.
Aruba, where she had decided that John had kissed somebody. In fact,
Although
that
she
somebody
said,
was go ahead.
she had to have been mistaken and wanted to apologize and pay for part of the sister's room that she accused.
Yeah, but 20 days later she's telling Brian Higgins that John kissed somebody while they were in Aruba, and that's why she's thinking of whatever.
Maybe it was Brian whom John kissed.
Ooh.
On Days of Our Lives.
Do
The
we have
secret
any idea
love.
how many more witnesses the prosecution has? Because I think the
Let's
fireworks are really going to start when the defense starts their case in chief.
well,
Well,
it also depends. Go ahead.
we've only had the one expert witness, and I would expect to see quite a few of them.
Yeah, I think there was like
And
60 total or something like that for prosecution. And you asked earlier in the chat if they were on cross. So they're on cross and there'll be a redirect. So I think some of this stuff's going to be clarified in redirect that the defense is
well,
just really miscuing.
I have a feeling that Higgins is going to be on the stand all day. They will do their best since there's only one day next week. They're going to do their best to make sure that Higgins is on the stand for the entire day. So that's stuck in the juror's mind if they indeed have 3 days off plus the weekend and come back the following Monday.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
A trial that won't end.
Well, yeah, that they were trying. I mean, the judge had said that she wanted to get through this witness yesterday. And with Jackson just delaying and asking the same questions over and over, she was getting visibly pissed at Jackson again. She does not like that man.
Well, apparently something overheated the jury so much that they started passing out.
Yeah, they did have to take a break.
Yeah, it was like 85 in Canton. So it was quite warm, for this time of year. I don't think they have a lot of ventilation.
Well,
No.
the judges said they had gotten the AC fixed earlier in the week, and apparently not fixed well enough.
Yeah, because the windows were open after that break. They were sitting there, the windows wide open, which of course made the sirens even louder from the fire station down the road.
Oh yeah.
But there's nothing much you could do about that if you actually had witnesses starting to pass out, because one had raised her hand or his or her hand in the middle of testimony, and the judge stopped everything and then went to the break for, it was a good 20 minutes while they tried to cool down that courtroom.
Yeah, the judge is really mindful of the jurors, their time, and gets exceptionally irritated when their time is wasted.
Yeah, like when Jackson, even Jen McCabe said it best, that Jackson asked the same question like 6 times, but on time number 7, he switches the words around and tries to get you to agree to something that you aren't comfortable agreeing with, because he just tries to lull you into it. And it's a little tactic that he uses with every witness. It's getting old pretty quickly.
Or he wants you to answer a standard yes to his only covering part of what was said or done. Anyway, well, did it happen? Did you say no? Yes or no?
Right.
Right.
Would you agree with me? You said yes to that one part there.
Yeah, but not to the all of it, but to the one
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, to the one word. Would you agree with me? You said die.
Well, I forget which witness it was that he's wanting them to say yes. They said the first sentence, but that would have been a lie if they had stopped there, but they qualified it with their.
Oh yeah, in the transcript it would say something like, have you ever met them before? No. Oh wait, no, I might have met them once. So then he focuses in on the you said no. That was a lie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, because I immediately fixed it. It's just stupid. But that's the lawyer's job. Zealous defense of a client, justice in the American way and all that.
Hans, are you drinking white wine or are you drinking red wine tonight?
Vodka as usual.
Okay, so you're drinking vodka, but you hate wine. Is that it? You hate wine. You hate both red and white wines.
Red wine.
By extension, champagne. How dare you?
And yeah, what about champagne? Why aren't you drinking champagne right now? Isn't that more appropriate?
Because it was cheap knockoff carbonated wine. It wasn't from the Champagne region. I'm such a fraud.
And you're not off the hook, Phil. Where is the brisket? Where is the brisket you promised? The brisket burrito. You gave one to Hank, but you didn't give it to me.
I don't like you.
Because you wanted pizza. You asked for pizza.
You want the brisket, Jim? You can't handle the brisket.
Probably can't, but I want the brisket. I want the brisket in the worst way. And not the Arby's brisket, which has been composed of 5 different cows.
Oh God.
Oh.
We have the meats.
Yes.
We're not giving them back.
From several animals all at once in this one sandwich.
Yeah, but they smoke it for 19 hours, they say.
Yeah, they
Am,
smoke
am I the
something for
only one
19
for whom
hours.
an Arby's roast beef sandwich is a guilty
Ju-
pleasure? Those things
Just
are
not.
tasty.
I like the roast beef
Uh,
sandwich. Yeah. Did they actually have a
one
pretty
of the
good chicken salad?
Go ahead,
one of
Hank.
the sandwich shops I used to go to had, they call it the Barnyard. It had chicken, turkey, ham, beef. I think lamb was in there too.
Well, the Arby's has the Meat Mountain, which is all the meat on their menu on one giant sandwich with over like 2,000, 3,000 calories. And it includes 2 chicken tenders that immediately get rock hard. So if you ever have one and bite into it, take the damn chicken tenders off, or else you're gonna break some teeth. Just seriously. I mean, I got one for my birthday once, and I was like, oh no, because I bit into it, and hit my tooth on one of those chicken tenders, and it was just like, no, thank you, no.
Yeah, I
So
think I'm with
yes,
Gia on this one. That's gonna be a
what's
hard
that?
pass. Meat Mountain.
Yes, the
I don't
Meat
think I'm
Mountain.
interested in that. No, no.
And there was so much on it that you could make like 5 different sandwiches with it and still have a good size serving.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yes. So instead of going to the deli, just go to your local Arby's and get the Meat Mountain. Arby's.
I mean,
The quicker picker upper.
Arby's sandwiches for fast food is all right, but I love their fries. Jack in the Box
Well,
tried to copy them, but they did a poor job.
they have the curly ones, right?
Yes.
Vaguely remember
Yes,
them.
the seasoned curly fries.
Yeah, I like their curly fries. They now have crinkle cut fries too, but those are an abomination. That's it. They're not. That's like when Burger King went to the saddest fries, which were the diet French fries.
Oh
Those
my
things were
God.
awful.
What?
Yes.
I don't remember
Yes.
that.
Low calorie French fries in some sort of grease that wasn't the same as the normal grease they cooked the
That
regular
wasn't
fries.
part of the Olestra experiment, was it?
Olestra. I think
No,
that's what
it wasn't.
Might
It
cause anal seepage.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah.
It was called Satis fries, and they were the saddest fries. Because I mean, seriously, low calorie French fries. I
Okay,
mean,
as Pope, I am saying unqualified abomination.
okay,
It's
abomination.
just an abomination.
Yes. Hello, Anthony Caruso. You were late, so no link for you tonight. But we'll talk again this week.
No soup for you.
I
no
like
cricket.
making waffle fries at the house.
Just regular old waffle cut.
Yep.
Okay.
Air frying them, season and air fry them.
2014. Huh, I'd never heard of them.
The Satisfy. I told
What?
you. Satisfies were a thing.
Some disappointed customers nicknamed Satisfries the saddest fries.
That's what I've been saying.
What can the strange saga of Burger King's Satisfries teach us about healthy menu items at fast food chains?
Oh,
Tune
no
in
wonder I didn't
tonight
hear about it.
at
It was
11.
Burger King.
Yeah, it was Burger King. Yes. Mrs. Tom wants to know how long in the air fryer, Hank. For your fries.
And the rotisserie basket depends on how big of a serving I'm putting in.
I also miss Black Angus burgers. For a while in the early aughts, it was Black Angus everything. So you could get,
Still see
That's
Black
racist.
Angus on some menus.
yeah, but not like at Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. There was this fad for a couple of years. It had to be the Black Angus meat.
Yeah, but doing a blind taste test of having people, you cut up a bunch of different patties and include a piece of the Black Angus in there. Nobody can tell the
Right.
fucking difference.
Oh, that's like with what is it? The fancy beef from Japan now.
Kobe beef.
Kobe beef.
No, Kobe's a has-been fancy beef. Now they've Wazoo or something. There's a new premium beef out.
I can't pronounce it. No.
Samurai beef. Konnichiwa.
Samurai
Wagyu.
feather with the meat mountain.
Yeah, Glover Mom's got it. Wagyu.
Wagyu beef. Yeah, yeah, because Kobe was before Wagyu.
I don't know. I eat whatever the Costco beef patties are.
What? You're not gonna make the trek to Vegas and pay $50 for a Gordon Ramsay Wagyu beef burger?
No. No, I get
Wagyu
yelled at when
beef.
I order steaks anyway because I like them well done and butterflied because I just like the edges of the steak. That's my favorite part. So I want an entire steak made of edges. And nobody likes
Okay.
it.
Okay.
It's happiness in my mouth.
There's an
So
entire American Wagyu Association.
Yes, there is.
As long as you don't put ketchup on said steak.
no, but I do like A1 sauce on the potato. That's
Okay.
delicious.
If I'm having to endure eating a not so great steak, I'll put A1 bold and spicy on it.
There you go.
It also goes great with French fries or on a burger.
A1 bold and spicy, the quicker picker upper.
Becca says she
Available
likes
now.
happiness in her mouth too. You're at a restaurant, give me what I want, how I want it. That's the whole point, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Caruso eats his rare. He just likes his rare and bloody.
Sure. Have it how you like. Emo, I do like burnt ends. That's my favorite part of the brisket.
Well, I like those too. Of course, when my dad used to cook burgers, if it wasn't a hockey puck, he didn't think it was done.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna have some serious talk. We're gonna have some serious talk because you're
Okay.
clearly not having brisket correctly. The fatty is the best part of the brisket.
Yeah, you gotta
Wait,
turn it
who are
into
you
shoe
talking
leather.
to?
Me.
Who are you talking
Yeah.
to?
I don't
You
really like the
you
fatty
and
part.
you and Virgo. Jesus,
No,
what's wrong with
no,
you?
me. The hockey puck was the burger. Was a burger, not brisket.
Okay. I was gonna
Okay,
have
that's
some
still
serious
blasphemy.
It is blasphemy, yes.
Well, it was my dad. That's how he used to cook burgers. If it didn't look like a piece of charcoal, and it probably was, it it wasn't a burger to him.
Well,
The
so then
burger
the
was
other
so.
side, the other end of that spectrum would be steamed burgers like White Castles, right?
Ooh,
That gelatinous gray mass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh,
White Castle.
never had one. I want one.
For whatever reason, we would go to White Castle for special occasions.
Well, McDonald's, I don't know if they're still in the practice of it, but they would do a crap ton of burger patties up and then have them up in a steam drawer to make the burgers as they come burgers to order. So you might have had a patty that was grilled over an hour before it gets put on your burger.
Ew.
Hmm.
I
Can
don't
someone
think they
explain
still
the
do that.
chicken salt to me? Because Gia says it's beyond disgusting. Is that just like salt and chicken bouillon put together?
I'm not sure what it is. I've heard of it. I haven't didn't hear of it before I went on a low sodium diet. So if salt's in the name, I'm not too interested in it anymore.
Somebody assaulted a chicken? What?
No,
It's
chicken
a
salt.
Australian thing. It's called chicken salt, and I can't quite figure out what it is. And when I try to look up the ingredients, like on Amazon and stuff, like it never has the ingredients. So I can't figure out what it is. And Gia just says it's gross. because I have to have a high salt diet. So like I need to find creative ways to bring salt into my diet because I don't like it. Currently, I have half salt, half MSG that I put on my food, which is just too much.
So,
Uh,
so should I send you some salt lick lollipops?
yeah,
There you
I
go.
might just get like a horse salt lick, just put it next to my bed or something. But I mean, if chicken salt is good, I want to try it. But yes, that's disgusting.
It contains chicken meat and skin, chicken broth, salt, rosemary, more salt, paprika, garlic, onion, celery seeds, and turmeric.
Well, that's like
That's
when
all
I used
fine.
to, when I lived in Mount Lake Terrace, Washington, there was a pool and a pavilion up the street from us, which I knew how, at 6 years old, I knew how to break into it. So I could get to the vending machines, and the vending machines were my food whenever my mom wasn't home. And I loved pork rinds. And I ate them for 2 years before I even knew what they were, because they were good. And now I won't touch them.
You ever had microwave pork rinds?
No, I have not.
That
They're
sounds
so
terrifying.
much better. They're so much better than the ones you get in the bed that you don't heat up.
Right. Yeah, I used to get bags of them, But I was a
Sounds
little
like
kid. I
something.
didn't know better.
Sounds like something you would eat with boiled peanuts.
Well, it was Washington State. You never knew what you were going to get.
Yeah, if you just need to watch your... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you just need to watch your calories, but not worried about the salt, pork rinds is a good replacement for chips.
I do buy chips in bulk because I love chips, and I like, which is an East Coast brand because they use cottonseed oil, so they're not greasy. So I have to buy
Wait,
them in
what brand?
vending machines. Utz.
Oh, Utz. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
stand Utz, but
Oh, I love it.
it's a Maryland company. There's
Yeah.
actually in York, Pennsylvania, there's an Utz factory and an outlet store with every freaking flavor of Utz. I could basically get you a tin, a Seahawks tin or something, just because it's the tin, or a 49ers tin or whatever, and then you just say what flavor you want, and they will fill it with fresh chips from over across the way. So yeah, there's an Utz outlet right down there. I've been to a couple of times now. I used to like the Utz crab chips, which were crab flavored potato chips.
Yeah, it's like the crab seasoning. Because I bought those ones thinking they were going to be crab flavored. They don't taste like crab. They taste like the crab seasoning. They're just
That
so
would
salty.
make me very crabby.
Yeah. I was sad.
Well, speaking of crabby, I think we're going to go about 10 more minutes here. We do have a ton of stuff. Well, we have a lack of content next week because Karen Reed apparently is only in session one day. So we'll be doing a couple of panels through the week. Tuesday, which would normally be a half day, is now a full day. Just to screw with us all, it's going to be a full day. So we may be doing a couple panels here and there. Tomorrow night, I'll be back with the catch-up newscast at 6 o'clock. And then 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock where it counts, 6 o'clock Mountain, and 5 o'clock Pacific will be our week in review show. These shows, as Pants is making me do a disclaimer now, are a mix of live and recorded material. So if I suddenly start doing that means I'm live. If I suddenly can flow through a sentence without interrupting myself, that means I'm recorded. So there. Pants, are you happy now? It's a mix of live and live to tape.
I believe in being honest with our audience, Jim.
Yes. So, yeah, because he caught me the other day. It was Friday's broadcast.
It was your comment in the side chat saying, "Oh, by the way, when I say such and so, that's no longer true." And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, because I recorded the outro, the outro before the intro, and during the intro, Phil had said, "Oh yeah, there's not going to be a show tonight yesterday. And so I suddenly had to pop in to say, now, when I say this at the end, I don't mean it. I don't mean it. And
Holy cow, Phil.
Holy wind noise.
yeah.
I know.
Holy.
His holiness is windiness tonight.
I'm
Well, I
sitting
think he was out.
outside. I'm sitting outside amongst the fire, and because it's tornado season, it's decided to get cloudy and kind of windy. So
Oh, that sounds lovely.
yeah, it is lovely.
Anthony Caruso, can you post your ideas on sweet potato fries over in our Discord, please?
Those I've had sweet potato fries. When done right, they're delicious.
Yeah.
The color has
when,
always been a little
yeah.
odd to me in sweet potatoes.
I don't like
Yeah. Well, one of the fast food places had an option of sweet potato fries, but they did not hit the mark.
Now I do want Red Robin fries, but the nearest Red Robin,
Yum.
if I left right now, it'd be closing by the time I got there.
Oof.
Red Robin. Yum.
Yes. And Red Robin, I didn't even realize that the place that my mom would take me every now and again in Seattle was Red Robin. And I never put two and two. All I remember about that place was it had a Qbert game in the front. And the Qbert had the same pattern. If you had the Intellivision version and you knew the pattern, it would work on both the Intellivision and on the Qbert arcade game. So I could get the high score every time we went because I knew the pattern.
Clever girl.
But I sucked at Moon Patrol because that was the other machine they had. The one with the moon buggy on Earth. Or on the moon, sorry. On Earth. Yeah, right.
Where you had to jump the craters and
Yeah, and shoot
like
the
that, yeah.
aliens. Yeah.
I didn't like that one very much. It was kind of boring.
I don't think I ever
We
played that
we actually had some news yesterday, old video game news, as Atari bought out the rights to Intellivision, ending a 50-year rivalry. So Atari now owns Intellivision. For those few
All I
people
see-
who know what I'm talking about.
I
What
see
is,
plenty of people with their old
Intellivision?
Atari shirts on, but never seen anybody with an Intellivision shirt on.
Because there were 6 of us who had it. Because, my mom literally bought it because it was on sale, not because she knew anything about it. That's how we got the new electronics for a while. Other than the TI-99 4A, because Bill Cosby was on those commercials and she trusted Bill Cosby. I'm not making that up. She liked Bill Cosby back then.
Put
And
out
he
by
endorsed the
Mattel
computer.
in 1979. Huh.
What?
a
The
lot of us like
Intellivision?
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had the Intellivision 1, and then I had the Intellivision 2, which was essentially a cheaper model of the first one. And Linux Guy, yes, Intellivision exists as a brand. They were trying to put out a new console called the Amico a few years ago. It's in developmental hell.
Yeah, every now and then I hear rumors of a new Atari deck coming out, but never see it surface.
And just as we are wrapping up, Glenn has gone live again.
Yay!
So he's either done with the hooker or done with the visitation, quote unquote.
Well, let's see. Given the amount of time that has passed, he was done with the hooker a long time ago. I think he said time to dispose of the body.
Okay.
Maybe he was buying food stamps.
Let's
Slightly
see.
less awful crime.
Pull it up. Oh, he's driving around again. Here, Pants, I'll send it to you in a second. Hold on, let me get this.
I have it.
You got it?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to share the screen. So when we go out, we'll have Glenn Stereo driving around. Now, folks, you missed it earlier when he was driving. He was at a stoplight outside of a McDonald's, and his whole car stalled for a minute, and traffic just went around him.
I think it's because of the attention was on the McDonald's instead of traffic.
Oh, Lord, where'd this go?
Looks like he's driving by a prison.
Could he be back in Everett then?
Is he giving us a tour?
Whoops. He's got 3 people watching plus all of us.
Poor car is just going to give up the ghost pretty soon here. It's like jerking. You can see it's like.
Yeah, his car
Or
is
is that
dying.
just his potato phone?
Well, I mean, the potato phone is jerking with the physics of his car jerking. You know?
Well, anyway, folks, we're going to wrap up to the wonderful sounds of Glenn Stereo. Going around the panel, anything last words to say, Mr. Pants?
Last words. Last words.
Okay. Hank, can you top his last words? Last words?
In the words of Glenn Stereo, uh-oh!
Sweep your leg.
Pope Phil, are you going to sweep the leg on this one?
Oh my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee.
Verbo?
And
What do you got
for anyone who doesn't know, that those are last rites.
Okay. Verbo?
Thank you, Your Holiness.
Well, I guess with the lack of read content next week, we'll look forward to all of the weird shorts that you cut out.
We'll have some weird shorts. We may actually go live with the Patreon, so you get your 8 minutes with Jim every day, which will be my new, for paying customers only. Sorry, I do have to eat. Daily vlog. I think I'm going to keep it to 8 minutes, and it'll be exclusive to the Patreon whenever I get around to starting a Patreon, let alone
This will be Jim modeling different kinds of shorts and leggings and.
Yeah, I think you need to have some
No.
cat time.
It might be cat time. It might be me waking up at 3 a.m. and just turning on the video and going, I don't want to get out of bed. They're making me get out of bed. The cats are carrying my body now. God bless it. No. Help me, people. Help me. Where are they taking me?
Hey,
And
I'd
then you
pay
just
for
set up
a Meet the Cat series.
Yeah,
There you
cat
go.
cam, maybe.
That,
Maybe
minutes
a
that would
on
be
each
cat
about a
cat.
5-hour show.
Exactly. Yeah, so Patreon is coming, and we need 195 more people here to hit basic monetization. And also we will be sometime this week putting out the merch shop. We're keeping it simple, keeping it cheap. I'll only be making $1 or $2 off of stickers, let alone maybe $5 off of a t-shirt, if that. I just have to see what the minimal costs are. Because again, this is promotional material. You are doing us a favor by wearing this stuff. So I'm not going to, gouge you on prices. We're going to get the best quality that we can, but it's not going to be like chili where we add $30 to the price just because it's chili. That's just stupid to me.
All right.
Anyway, folks, we're going to wrap up. You got 30 seconds before I hit the end video, so let's talk all at once.
All at once,
Well,
we're talking
see,
over each
the last
other.
time
We always
I got
talk over
elevated
each
on the
other
street,
because we always
I
talk over
crashed
each other.
way
crash,
too much.
yes,
Or
crash,
no,
But
crash,
tonight
crash.
I behaved
And
myself
Jim,
a
you're,
whole lot
yes.
better.
and
I think
yeah.
was,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
smart thing to do.
30 seconds is longer than you
And
think,
maybe